Okay, hi everyone. So we'll just be starting. Hi everyone on Facebook as well if you're watching. So welcome to Startup Hack, building an online branding that's organized by SCAPE, entrepreneurship, and in collaboration with the Next Level and the Actor Society. So my name is Natalie and I'm from the SCAPE team, and very nice to see you guys all today, especially being so active in our chat. So Startup Hack is one of the many programs we carry out here at SCAPE, and we'll just show a really short video for you guys to let you guys know more about our programs. Thank you guys for sitting through the video. Yeah, so those are just some of our programs that we have here at SCAPE. So if you would like to be part of our programs or just find out any more about them, so I've dropped our email in the chat. You can just feel free to drop us a mail if anything, if you're interested as well. Okay, and we can finally jump into today's program after all my announcements. So our two speakers today will actually be sharing with us how to build a successful branding for yourself, and will demonstrate as to how it's possible with their own examples. So our two speakers for today will be Chloe from the Next Level and Tammy from the Actor Society. So Chloe is the managing director at the Next Level, where they focus on educating people about digital marketing and online branding. And Tammy is an actress and MC, as a lot of you know, I'm pretty sure, at the Actor Society, which is actually based in the SCAPE building. So they're one of our very lovely tenants there. Okay, so there are a lot of startup founders and business owners, which is great. I think this presentation will be super useful for you guys. Looking for new opportunities, that's really nice as well. Yeah, okay. Branding, marketing, prediction. Okay, and I love the people that are just here to learn. Like, anytime you are here to learn, we are for it. Awesome. Okay, yeah. So let's just go. So moving on to the agenda for today. So yeah, so under today, we firstly looking at and finding a niche topic, how to create valuable content, building up authority over time, and then we'll finish off by doing a fireside chat and Q&A. So actually, Chloe and Tammy will be doing quite a conversationalist style of presentation. So Chloe will be presenting, but she'll bring in Tammy for once in a while to, use her own examples and use her own life as an example. So please just place any questions at any time that you guys have in the chat, so that you don't forget them as well, okay? And we'll continuously be looking, and we'll get all your questions together so Chloe and Tammy can answer them at the end of the presentation. And yeah, so thank you everyone for joining us today. Over to you, Chloe.
All right. Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you. It's very fortunate of me to be invited over here. Firstly, I have to thank SCAPE for organizing such wonderful program. And actually, Tammy is the one that invited me to be together with her on this webinar. So yes, I'm so excited because online branding, right? Tammy, she has been doing such a great job. And that's why I felt that tonight we have so much to share. And during like presentation, we don't really want to be like just a lecture, just theory. We really want it to be a discussion. So that's why later on, as I was presenting, I would definitely invite Tammy to come over to share her experience about online branding. And this topic is really relevant to especially people who are like, I saw a lot of you guys are entrepreneurs or business owners. When you have a business, right, if you know how to do online branding correctly, then definitely you are giving yourself a huge advantage. All right, so with that in mind, let's just get started. Are you guys able to see my share screen? Okay, if you are able to see in the share screen, just type yes, so that we can see that you can see it, and we can go ahead and start to have wonderful sharing ahead. All right, so exactly how can you find your brand's voice at the end of the day, right? It's really important to establish yourself to be the authority on the social media, especially. Let me just briefly introduce a little bit more about myself, because I believe a lot of you guys know who is Tammy. She's already very famous. Online branding also very good. Okay, so just let me introduce a little bit myself. I am from this company called The Next Level, and we are we call actually I think we are seven-figure business. Okay, even during COVID period, we constantly hit more than $1 million every single month, and it's because we have moved online much earlier than most businesses out there. And later on, I will share a little bit more about how our journey has been gone through, and how you can also implement the same strategy that we did to take your business, if you have a business, to the next level. For those who already are looking for some opportunities out there, actually this is a very good webinar to start off to think about, hey, what do you want to do in the future, especially you know that the online branding, the online internet thing is really the next trend, right? So I'm also an international female speaker. Actually, before COVID hit, I was constantly being invited to travel to different parts of the world, such as Japan, Hong Kong, Beijing, Malaysia sometimes. So like every single month, I would really travel overseas to give like educational talk like this. So I was also very fortunate to be invited on the newspaper to share my experience. But I think at the end of the day, it's really about not about what we are sharing, it's about how much you take our sharing and implement it to your business. All right, so if you understand the power of taking action, right, I really want you to start taking action even after this webinar. All right, so this is my company. Okay, my company, we start like what Natalie mentioned about, we focus a lot on education, especially online branding, online marketing, everything, right? So actually we started doing this business like since like a few years ago, but online branding and marketing, this business we only started about last year. So when we first started about June, July, that period, it was okay relatively, you know, like the first month about 40,000, the second month about 40,000. So we know that these things work, we just need to scale it further. So when we see that it worked, hey, why not we just put in more resources into it? And that's when we see put more resources into it, more effort into it, that's when we started to see our business start to grow in terms of this online revenue, right? So September to November, every single month our revenue was increasing, and then December to February there was a drop. Okay, so what was the reason behind that? It's because, okay, we are also were on holiday for quite a while, like, you know, like February is Chinese New Year actually, and January is of Chinese New Year period, and December was December holiday. But we really become like very serious into scaling our business online, giving education seminar talks and education workshop eventually online. That was during the March period where we see our revenue grew from 60,000 to more than 400,000, and this is in US dollar. All right, so when COVID hits, right, a lot of businesses were really impacted, and at first we thought that, hey, there's definitely a lot of uncertainty. So at first we thought that, how is it going to be to us as a business, especially we actually run education, you know, seminar education, even though we also run it online, right? But because the fact that we have pivoted online way earlier, we start doing that since like last year, during the April period when the COVID got really serious. That's when we also see our company revenue jump like really tremendously. Okay, so April we hit our first 1 million, and May once again is another 1 million. So this is not theory. Whatever that I'm sharing with you guys is repeatable. And June, actually, we are seeing another 1 million coming in. So that's why whatever that I'm sharing tonight, Tammy is sharing with you tonight, it's not a theory. It's indeed a very this method works. All you need to do, right, is to implement it for you to see results for yourself, for your business, or for your entrepreneur career, right? So exactly how can you dominate your online presence and leapfrog from the competition? And it's very important, especially if you are thinking about doing branding or doing a business, it's really, really important and crucial to do branding first, online branding especially. So this formula that I will be sharing with you, which is called the 3-step new wave entrepreneur formula, will be ABC. But my main focus, as well as Tammy's main focus tonight, will be talking about A. The reason why is because A is actually about branding. And once you have the branding to be correct, B and C will just follow naturally. All right. So let's start with A. So what is what is A? It stands for attracting attention with a unique brand. So because the reason why it's important to attract attention, I believe all of you guys know. Like for example, if you want to set up a business online, and let's use the most simple product that we all know, like a rose, right? So you want to sell a rose, right? And you think that, hey, once I go into the digital world, I go into the internet, I can actually sell this rose to many different people. And that's why a lot of business owners right now, they really want to do e-commerce, because e-commerce, there's no boundary. You can really reach to the rest of the world. All right. But the problem is they spend a lot of money, okay, setting up stores. They also spend a lot of money doing advertisement, even pumping ads on Facebook and everything. But at the end of the day, what is the common problem that they face? Okay, the common problem is eventually, right, after spending so much effort, spending so much time, they realized that there was little or almost no sale for these roles. Okay, and what's the reason is because most of the entrepreneurs, especially they first started, they don't see the importance of branding. And that's why they forgot that there are so many other people out there are also competing with them. Okay, they are also selling the same roles like you. So why would people want to buy from you instead of from others, especially if your price is almost the same or others are even cheaper than you? Then you'll be sucked into the price war, right? So what exactly, like if you don't do online branding, you will just end up to be a stock of roles inside this sea of right? So there's no way for you to stand out. But if you start doing branding, start doing something different, that's when you become the beautiful yellow flower among all these different red flowers. And that's when people see you, they will see, wow, hey, how come this business is different? How come there's like such a unique connection between you and the customer? And that's how you start to draw customers to your online business. You start to draw people to your social media, become your followers, and eventually buy your product. All right. So exactly how can we capture the right attention through the right topic? Okay, it's important to capture right attention, because we all know that internet space, you can go viral by doing something bad as well. But we as a business owner, we really want to capture the positive attention to our business, right? So you have to make sure you are capturing positive and right attention through the right topic. So Tammy, she has actually been in this industry, branding industry, for the longest time. And in fact, she is firstly a very famous actress. And then secondly, she's also a 5-figure MC. All right, so she has been doing a lot of things. You've been following her. You can see that, hey, she does have a niche topic. Okay, maybe we let Tammy to start share a little bit more about her experience. Like ever since she started branding herself online, how is the journey go about? Yes, Tammy.
Thank you, Chloe. So I do agree, online branding is really important, because there is a difference before I first started doing it and after. So technically everybody knows I'm an actress. I've been doing this for 11 years, but a lot of people didn't know I'm actually an MC. I've been doing MC even way longer, for 15 years. But because I have been only talking about my acting stuff on my social media, mainly Instagram, I didn't really touch Facebook very much previously. So all people know is me being an actress. So after I encountered the importance of online branding, of finding the correct angle, the correct topic, then I started working on my Facebook page and then the branding of the 5-figure MC, because I realized I need to make people remember me in a different way. I would probably make it, say, like a more important way, because but that's where my stream of money is, which is MC definitely earns more money than actress. Unfortunately, that's the truth. So after figuring out, hey, this is what I really, majority of my income is, I should actually focus on this. Then I decided to change my online branding to be on the angle of MC. And then I started seeing different results. But why on branding myself as 5-figure MC? Because I need to let people know that I'm not just an MC. I've been doing this for a long time, and it is something that I'm good at. And this is the figure that I'm earning per month basis. Not every month.
I was
Sometimes
very
I'm
surprised. In the past, I always thought that, you know, being an actress, the pay should be higher since you're going to be featured on TV station. You work with, you know, like celebrities around. So like exactly, you know, like being an MC, right? In terms of the income difference, how much is the difference? Actually, like percentage wise.
Let's say a per day rate for an actress, even for my lead roles on Surya Media Corp, it's probably a quarter of what I will earn in half the time spent when I do MC. So that's the difference.
What you earn in half a time. Wow.
Yeah, so let's say if I work for 8 hours for MC versus I work for 8 hours as an actress, that's maybe like easily 4 to 6 times more. So you see now why I want to brand myself an MC better than actress, right?
and I do feel that once you brand yourself to the MC, right, you actually take control, because I know, like, from my understanding of the media industry, if you're actress, you have to maybe wait for people to approach you to act in certain roles. You know, director want to work with you, find you suitable to be in this character, and then they will work with you, right? But on MC side, you are really reaching out to so many other markets out there, be it for events, be it for wedding. Yeah, and there are just so many events happening. Like I mean, I know now it's COVID-19 period. It's a little bit difficult, but I think now it's also the best time to start branding yourself, so that when COVID is finally safe for us together, we are now in phase 2 and everything, then your inquiries, actually recently your inquiries also grow a lot more, right, since you started branding online.
Yeah, because I was mainly like by word of mouth previously. I seldom have cold leads. But since I started online branding, I only actually been doing this for like 5 or 6 weeks. But it took, say, like about this, by the second, third week, I started to getting leads. And my inquiries, just on cold leads inquiries alone, the value is in about 5K already. Although I haven't started working yet because we are not at phase 3, I cannot go outside to, host events. But
Yeah.
It's really promising.
I see. Okay, so can you guys see the power of online branding? And of course, you need to find the topic that that can give you the income. So now let's talk about how can we find out the topic. If you don't have a business, how can you find a topic that you know can turn into a profitable business? And if you already have a business, then how can you further refine it, right? So for Tammy, she found her topic to be MC. So is it something like your passion? Like since young, you want to be on stage to host and everything?
I figured that I have 3 main passions in my life. My first love is always acting. And then I'm very good with speaking. I like to share stuff. So MC is one of them. And the next one is skincare stuff, because I'm actually a trained beautician, trained esthetician. I do trainings on skincare. But after figuring out this 3, then I realized being passionate is one thing. Knowing your personal interest is one thing, but you also need to figure out which was the money making one. So that comes your second part, right?
Yes, that's right. The second part is market demand. And for being an MC, yeah, like Tammy mentioned earlier, even though she's passionate in many different things, like mainly three things, but she in the end we decide to nail down to something that has a greater market demand. Okay, actually skincare does have market demand, but it's also a very competitive space, right, in skincare, right? So
yeah,
it
is very competitive, because it's like, I mean, other than just market demand and passion, you also kind of need to know which one you has a stronger passion for. Then that is the thing that's going to drive you to continue want to do all this content online to build your online brand.
I see. So when we are talking about market demand, why Tammy she is narrowing down to MC is because that is where people are interested in. Okay, the reason why people are interested in at the end of the day, right? You always have to make sure your topic or your business or your product that you're going to talk about, right, it links back to either one of the three core pillar. Okay, be it because we as human, we always have these three fundamental needs. Okay, we want to have very fit and healthy body, and we also want to have a fulfilling and loving relationship, right? Last but not least is, hey, we also want to have abundance of wealth, right? And that's why as a 5-figure MC, in fact, actually Tammy teaches people, right? You teach people how to become a 5-figure MC, is that right?
Yes, I share knowledge on how to do MC. So when I share knowledge about how to do MC, the people who wants to learn gets benefit on that. And then for people who wants to find an MC, they realize, hey, I really know what I'm talking about. And those are very valuable tips. If they can't do it themselves, they can hire an expert.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is really great because like when you brand yourself, right, a lot of times is, for example, you're teaching on your, later on we're going to more content, but while Tammy is teaching her audience, which is on social media like Facebook or Instagram, she's teaching people about, hey, this is how you can become an MC, a premium MC, and what you should do, right? While she's teaching the know-how, a lot of her audience, even though they may be interested to becoming an MC, but eventually, right, they know that, hey, I may not be that good. So if I have big events, if I have, it's just nice, my companies also need to hire MC. Hey, I would think of Tammy because Tammy has been producing content, has been giving so much value on the internet space. And when I really want to engage someone, I want to engage someone that I know of, right? Instead of a random person that just put ads on newspaper, it just doesn't work that way, right? So it's really about the connection that you can build for your business as well. So start thinking about why you're doing online branding, right? Related to your topic, what is your business about, and then start sharing a lot of content on your business, right? So that's how people will get to know you. And while I share, before I go deeper into
Chloe,
asking Tammy, yes,
can I just jump in? We have
sure,
some
sure, sure,
questions. Would you like to touch on them?
yeah, sure, sure, sure. What are the questions?
I have Alvin Tan over here asking how much was spent on the media buyout to achieve the 1 mil revenue, and what's the profit margin range per transaction?
Wow, that is a very deep dive into our company. Actually, do you know that during May and April, our company, right, we almost didn't spend a lot of money. We almost didn't spend money on ads. It was been using our database. Firstly, we have been, because we've been running this business for a long time, so we do have certain number of database. And on top of that, right, we are doing a lot more content than we used to do on social media, and that's when we attracted a lot more attention. And through the database that we have, through the social media online presence that we give, a like greater influence on the social on during COVID-19 period, right, we really almost didn't spend a lot of money on ads. And indeed, even though without spending much, because we connect with our audience, and then we also engage with our database customers, right? And that's when they continue to buy more during that 2 months as well. Okay, so
So see, we have another question from, oh, it should be from Facebook, right? Natalie posting it up here.
okay.
Which is the biggest segment for you, being an MC or teaching people to be MC? Should we focus on one segment when we are just starting out, or can we do both? That's a very good question. Chloe, should we focus on one segment or should we do both? What's your opinion on that?
Actually, like as your content mostly now is teaching people how to become an MC, right?
Yes.
Right? But do you see the magical part is, even though Tammy focused on one direction, which is teaching people how to become a 5-figure MC, a lot more people will like to engage Tammy to be the MC because they just know that either they don't have the energy to do it, they can't do it, or they just think, hey, if I why not I just engage a professional people, right? So this is really something truly magical about online branding, because even though you are teaching something online, eventually people will come to inquire your service, which is and that's when you actually charge a lot more, because once you become a premium brand, like for example, you ask about Tammy, she is a 5-figure MC, like she has a premium brand of delivering very good MC service, and at the same time she also has she already set a benchmark. She's a 5-figure MC. Can you see that? So with that premium brand, when people approach her, do you think now it's much easier for you to charge even higher premium?
Yes, that's definitely true. So actually, all my online branding content are mainly focused on teaching people, but the results is actually asking me to do the service, like host on videos, to host on events. So it's quite amazing. Like I wasn't aiming for that, but that is the result I'm getting.
Exactly. All right. So any more questions before we go back? Because I do have a few more things that I also want Tammy to share a little bit more. Okay, so that's when we ask about, hey, posting content, right? How often should you guys post to really increase your online branding much faster? If you can post like every single day, I think that's the best, right? If you can post every single day, I believe Tammy actually she posts very often. How often do you post on your social media, Tammy?
I was focusing more on the Facebook one, so it was initially 3 videos a week. So sometimes when I too lazy to do videos, I just put static posts. So I will write with a picture.
Yeah. I think as long as actually it doesn't have to be just video content, right? Like, so what Tammy did was a combination of text, images, and then sometimes Facebook Live as well, plus maybe edited video. So all these different kind of medium all contribute to your content, because we know that producing video, it also require more time. So you don't have to produce a video every single day. That is really very time consuming unless you have your own media team, then they can do it for you, right? But most of the time, like if you are a startup that has very tight resources, right? Focus always like, hey, producing content, even though it's not a video content, then what can you write relevant to your topic and insert a picture, or maybe share an article that's related to your business, related to the sector, to the industry. And that's how, when the more that you talk about it, the more people will be aware of what is your business about, right? So I think that is important, because Tammy, she has been posting about MC. You know, every single time she posts about teaching you how to be an MC, what are the tips and tricks to be an MC, and eventually you see that, oh, if I want to find an MC, or hey, if I'm thinking of learning MC, hey, I better check out Tammy. You know, that's you stay on top of the mind, you know, top of the mind of your customers, and that's when you know that your branding is becoming stronger and stronger. Right. And one more thing that Tammy would like to highlight is, you know, when you give content, okay, when you produce content, it's really focusing on educating and creating value. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
I was being told that for online branding, if you just keep posting things, like it's all about me, who really wants to just hear about you and your brand and your products and your services? Because whatever you see online that catches your attention, it must be relatable or useful. So focus more on giving value to the audience. So value adding can be educating, value adding can be different things. You know, anything that can actually add value to the audience would be something that catches their attention. And I also want to highlight, a lot of people think that online branding means numbers. It doesn't really have to be, because it depends on your target audience. So I don't have like say 1 million followers on my Facebook page or anything, but a lot of them are very quality followers. So because that's what you really need. You don't really need a huge numbers, but they are not there. They don't have spending power. It doesn't buy your product. It doesn't make sense. So if you have the content that gives value to the audience, the right kind of value, this audience stays with you, and they will be your clients. You'll be your customers. So it really depends on what they want, and then you give them what they want.
Yeah, so it really depends on what your clients want, what the audience want, rather than what you want to produce. So yeah, I think from your customer's perspective, give them value because they are actually looking for answer on their internet space, right? That's why if you can produce your content that can address their questions, then they will really want to continue to follow you for more tips, right? So that's exactly how it goes. And Natalie said that if we were just starting out and don't have much experience like Tammy, which is 10 years or more, as you mentioned, should we start with a premium branding? What do you think, Tammy?
In my opinion, I'm not sure whether everybody agrees. I'm not sure whether Chloe agrees, but I don't think online branding is just on premium. It really depends, once again, what is your target audience. Let's say for me, my target audience would be people who want to learn MC, for event organizers who wants to engage one. So if your target audience, let's say you have a product, say if you're selling a bag, then your target audience may be ladies who want this kind of bags. Then you don't have to be premium, right? So it depends on your audience, and then what your audience will like. Then you decide on your online branding.
Yes, and I totally agree with what Tammy mentioned. It also depends on your target audience, and if you know that the product, for example, it also depends on what product or service you are selling. If you're selling something that it's generally on the lower price range, then it's also a little bit difficult for you to go to the premium branding. But I also think it's important to start to think about how you can go premium along the way, because at the end of the day, if you really want to be paid handsomely for your service or for your product, then you really want to make sure you work on the premium branding. You may not have the premium branding from the beginning, but the more you do it, the stronger that you build it, then the more premium you will become, and that's how you can charge higher, right? And we have one more interesting question. Do you post this content on your personal social media channel or your business page, or both?
I post this on my business page, my Facebook page. And then sometimes if I think it's something for my personal audience to think it's useful, then I will share it. It's very important to differentiate that, because let's say I have a company and I open this page for my company, then it will be all on this stuff only. Because if you have anything that kind of deviates from the angle, people will be not clear about your personal branding.
Yes. So like Tammy mentioned before, you have to be very clear in terms of what kind of branding you are creating for yourself or for your business, right? So your content should be very targeted, rather than, hey, one day I post about me with my cat, then the second day I post about, hey, I go gym. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't give value in terms of people will be confused what you're trying to talk about. On the other hand, if you're very targeted in terms of, hey, every day I'm just post, if you're a fitness coach, right, then every day I post little tips about fitness. The second day I talk about, hey, what kind of exercise I can do. This is something that is very niche down, and that's why you will be able to attract the customers that you truly want to target eventually. So for myself, I actually post on both, because for my own personal Facebook timeline, I also use it the way that I use it as a page. I don't really post random stuff. Whatever that I post is actually related to my branding as well. So, and my personal page is also about branding my name. So I felt that there's quite a lot of synergy in both of things. So I do post in both. Yeah. So, and sometimes I can cross drive traffic and stuff. Yep. Okay, so Iris asked, do you believe in buying ads to get more viewership? Producing content daily would often be limited by social media algorithm and only reach a certain audience. So Tammy, do you actually buy ads in any of your social media sharing?
Right now, none of my videos are on ads. I think it might be useful at a different point of time, because right now I'm still very new in building the Facebook online branding for MC. Like I mentioned, it's only like 5 or 6 weeks. I believe I might eventually do that at a later point, but right now I'm not too keen on doing that. Because I don't think getting the numbers, like I mentioned, is important. I think getting the right audience is more important at this moment.
Awesome. For my company, we do run ads, but because we run ads because it has been proven to be a successful funnel. Okay, I'm not sure whether you guys have heard of this term called funnel. Basically, it's a customer journey, right? In order to make sure the customer engage with your brand, eventually go to maybe consume some of your free product and eventually purchase your paid product, right? That means if the customer from point 0 all the way until point 100 become your paid customer, then it's considered a successful funnel. Unless you have a successful funnel, then I would suggest you don't run so many ads yet, especially when you don't have a product to sell, or especially when you are still testing out your funnel along the way. So when you are testing out, definitely you probably want to do some ads, but minimal until you know that, hey, it's guaranteed that there's conversion, then you can start scale up your ad budget. If not, you will really be burning a lot of cash unnecessarily. All right. Okay. So
I believe you still have slides, right? I want to hear more from you.
Yes. Okay. So one more thing that I also want to share is a lot of people that when we started doing online branding, maybe a lot of people will have this doubt that, hey, who am I to share? You know, like, why would people want to listen to me, right? I'm not sure if you have this doubt. Then it's very, very common because many people are not very comfortable speaking in front of camera, or not even comfortable posting about their thoughts about certain topic, especially you want to teach something. It's very hard for them to step out of the comfort zone. But think about it. Actually, nobody is ever born to be an expert, right? You really are someone that nobody know you. Okay, when I first started posting on my Facebook, right, I can see that, wow, very few people engage. You know, like very little comments, very little likes. But it's really about focusing on the progression, right? Because the more that you post, the more engaged that you are with your viewers, with your audience, that's when you will have more and more engagement. And when the people start seeing that, wow, if I go to Chloe, hey, every day she talk about branding, she talk about business, she talk about sales. So if I want to learn about business and sales, then I better go and check out Chloe. And that's when eventually I built up a brand to become the expert status. Okay, I was not born to be an expert. I believe Tammy for herself is the same thing. Even though she could be very good in MC, but if she never talked about it on her page, nobody would know that she's actually an MC. They only knew her as an actress. So can you see that? But only by doing her branding as an MC in this actually since COVID happened, right? Like during these 2 months, she started doing a lot more posts on her being an MC. People start to know her and now actually see her as an expert because she is an expert through all these years of experience. But nobody knew her expertise until she start to post about it, right? So you guys have to start posting, let people know about what you are good at, let people know about your product and your service, and that's when they will also eventually become your customer. All right. So maybe another very common questions that people always ask is how to deal with negative feedback. Actually, you know, Tammy, she's been in this industry for so long. Like, have you ever dealt with negative feedback before?
Definitely. I mean, from my beauty pageant days to my acting days, there are always people who would say negative stuff because you are an artist, public figure, so you should be bulletproof. somehow Singaporeans think that we're supposed to be bulletproof, all artists supposed to be bulletproof. So how do I deal with negative feedback? I have this saying that I was sharing previously. A couple of years ago, there was this scenario where a few YouTubers and influencers were doing this game online where they kind of judge different influencers and actors to see whether they are good in their standards. And then obviously it was like all the female artists that was being slammed. So a lot of YouTubers and influencers went online with their own videos to slam about this. But in this particular game, they also brought up Zoe Tay, and which she was judged not nicely as well. But did Zoe Tay reply at all? Did Zoe Tay mention anything on her social media or comment anything when she was being judged negatively? But no, she did not. So my way of telling you is, when you have negative comments, be like Zoe Tay. Because Zoe Tay is the queen. They are YouTubers. Why would Zoe Tay even want to comment or reply on whatever those YouTubers do? because she's the queen. So if you if you do an online branding, there will be people who would give you negative comments to say, hey, you expert man, hey, you 5-figure man, hey, later the IRAs come and catch you, you know, this kind of thing. IRAs won't catch me, I report my tax very well. Okay, so there will be people like that. Just be like Zoe Tay. You don't have to do any reactions to the negative comments. I'm pretty sure, yes, our egos will be bruised. You might have a few sleepless nights, but you don't have to react to them. You don't have to say anything back to them at all. Just ignore.
Yeah, I totally agree. And at the same time, think about, like definitely like Tammy mentioned, there will be negative feedback. It's for sure one, okay? But think about all the negative feedbacks out there, right? Actually, they are the minority. Actually, the majority are people giving you the likes, giving you the thumbs up, the comment to encourage you, right? So focus on these people, because you know that if your content is providing value to them, then you should continue to provide even more valuable content to these supporters so that they can continue to learn from you, right? So focus on bringing the positive impact, and these negative people, if they don't find your content to be valuable, then they don't need to watch you. You don't have to care about what they say. So it's a very, very important mindset to have, especially when you first started doing online branding. Deal with negativity in a very positive way. That's a very important mindset, in my opinion. All right. So the next thing that, okay, I think, does Natalie need to jump in, or I just do a quick summary? Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think there's still some questions. Firstly, thanks a lot for the sharing. I think it was really amazing. Yeah, as we mentioned, there are a lot of startups and business owners here. So I think it's always important to put in mind that, we always think of online branding as how do I brand my product, and then that's all. But sometimes branding yourself as a person and a founder and an entrepreneur and those kind of things are really important as well, to kind of give you more exposure also, and then give your own product a branding also. Yeah, so I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, so just jumping into the questions, I think Elvin is super interested in the next level, Chloe. He wants to know what is the profit margin per transaction, and then also what are the top 3 best-selling products for your 1 million revenue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for us, right, we don't focus on selling physical product. And the reason why we don't sell physical product, because when you sell a physical product, you need to go and produce it. You need to have, a lot of costs, and people may not buy your product, right? So that's why what we do is we focus on digital product, which is about education. Imagine you just teach your skill set online, right? For example, like a webinar like this, if you are premium enough, you can actually charge people to come to listen to you, from learning from you. So this is exactly what we do. We teach people how they can brand themselves much more successfully online. What are the step-by-steps to do that, build their branding, build their expertise. And this is education product. So education product, the margin is really high, because there's almost little cost, especially now during COVID, right? A lot of things are conducted through virtual workshop like this or webinars. So that's why the profit margin is really high. So you should consider creating your own digital product. Yeah. So, and then,
Awesome. Okay, yeah, then the next question, I think maybe for both of you. So what's your opinion about working with social influencers to support your brand campaign? I think this was probably spurred on by Tammy speaking a little bit about YouTubers, I'm guessing. Yeah.
I think right now, for social influencers, it is a great tool. Okay, there are people, I can't say tool, right? But it's a great way to help you spread your word. But you have to keep in mind that using influencers doesn't directly translate to sales, but it will help your branding, because it's like a reach, because they have a pool that they can reach out to. So if you use their reach, the audience that they have will know about your brand, know about your products, but those are reach. How to translate that to sales will be a different thing. Just, it is very useful, I have to say. And I am a micro influencer. I also do post things on social media, on Instagram as well. And my brand helps the other brands to get known. But that doesn't mean that it will equate to, let's say, I will suddenly sell 100 products for you. It doesn't. You have to know that this is what entails when you hire them.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I also believe that, it's important to hire influencers because especially they have the reach, right? But at the same time, while you think about hiring other people as your influencers, why not build your brand to be the influencer? You can do that, right? Because that's exactly how influencers out there are doing. You create your own influencer. You are your own. Nobody can take away from you. And that's the beauty of branding.
Yeah, and I realized that in our conversation, as in with you guys, there was a lot of talk about Facebook. So like, what do you think are other social media platforms that you guys can use and like leverage on? Yeah.
There are a few depending on your audience. For example, I'm using a Facebook page for MCs because that's where the older, I won't say older crowd, but like not so young crowd are. The ones with the spending power, the ones, the event organizers, the businesses are on Facebook. That's why I'm using it. But I am also on Instagram. And Instagram, a lot of more my crowds will be the younger ones because Instagram users are usually not the 50s, 60s people, definitely. And of course, the next up and coming one is TikTok, which you see that even YouTube and Facebook is getting threatened by TikTok because of their algorithm. So it really depends on your audience, like which one you want to capture, then you decide on where you should set your branding.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
totally agree on that.
Okay, cool. Just one question by ST. What key factors to ensure authenticity for your brand?
I feel that it has a lot to do with really your own personality because different people have different personality, and we if you fake too much, right? Actually, people can tell whether you're faking or not. So that's why just be authentic. We don't need to speak the best English in front of the camera because even people who don't speak well, they are able to attract people, their audience, with their character. So you be authentic with your character, then you will really attract people who truly love your character and love your brand.
Yep, and I totally agree. Just like be yourself. Let's say, I mean, I would say a lot of people want to do online branding on their products or services. You totally can do that, but before you do that, you first need to recognize your own corporate identity. Are you the atas type? Are you the heartland type? Only that, then you know where is kind of your vibes. Then you go and do your online branding accordingly for your products and services. Then only it will be efficient.
Okay, thanks. Very cool. So James asked a question in the chat. So where do you initially group of followers? Or get your group of followers when you don't do ads? Yeah, I think just now Tammy mentioned, right, that you don't really believe in doing ads and everything has been quite organic. I think some people struggle to get that organic reach. So I think like more like how do you get there and how do you take those first steps? Yeah.
For Facebook page, there is actually a few hacks. That one, Chloe, can I say?
Yeah, sure. You can share yeah, within this safe sphere. Share what you think is the best trick
Yeah,
out
actually,
there.
I've learned some of the hacks from Next Level because I joined their classes previously. So I am actually a paid customer. And then we subsequently became friends, and that's why I invited Chloe in this. So one of the things I learned inside will be, I think it's very useful. I didn't use it, but I used it previously already. So I didn't use it after that. So you can actually convert your Facebook friends into your Facebook page followers
Yeah.
automatically. It's a hack. How to do that? You can just go Google and search and you'll probably find out. There are more hacks available on how to do that to get followers. You can join different Facebook groups, but on specific steps how to do that, Chloe will be able to share on I think the free masterclass you're gonna
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a free masterclass that we have that we actually go a lot more nitty gritty into the ABC, right? So today we only had the time to talk about the surface of A, and then B and C will be going through much more in detail as well in the masterclass. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Angeline actually asked a question about the sea. She really wanted to know about it. Yeah, so
Okay.
Angeline, if you want, the
All right.
masterclass will be available
So,
to you.
so this is the master class. In fact, actually, I'm inviting another expert coming in during this master class, which I felt that's very interesting because recently there's a lot of things about e-commerce, right? That we do know that, hey, e-commerce is rising, right? But how, if you are running a business or you are running an e-commerce store, or just maybe you really want to brand yourself online for your service, right? How can you do that? Exactly, step by step. We'll be going through this content with you, the ABC formula, much more in depth with you during our free masterclass. So all you need to do is to go to this link, bit.ly/ecom branding 101. Yep. Okay, so I think later on we can also post this link. I will post this link in the comment section, so you guys can just go and register. It's next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday.
Yeah, and we'll also be sharing this link with you guys in the post-event email, so don't worry. Okay, I think I only have time for maybe like 2 more questions or so. Let me just get to Natalie's one. Hi, name twin. Anyways, if we are more inexperienced, is it better to start helping people one-on-one first and doing group classes or programs after?
Chloe,
Yeah, I think one-on-one is good, because I think that builds up your confidence in teaching people. And then after that, when you have more, especially when you are doing one-on-one, right, and you can actually get testimonials pretty quickly because you have dedicated attention to that person. The person can get a result much faster actually compared to a group class. And that's when you get a testimonial, you use that for your own marketing purposes, and that's how you can start to gather more people and conduct a group class. What do you think, Tammy?
I think whatever it is, just start doing something first rather than thinking, should I do this method first or should I do that method? Because everybody kind of works a different way. But I do agree, one-on-one might be an easier method, because when you don't have so much confidence, it's easier to face people, just one person rather than the whole group.
Okay, and then maybe we'll try to bridge the Facebook Live and Zoom link. We actually have a question there, which is nice. So with the up and coming TikTok app, and we also talked about this earlier, yeah. So how would you create content that has 2 things, your professional expertise and the element of fun? And also because TikTok has a 1 minute kind of like time, so I think how do you squeeze that in as well? Yeah.
I was talking to one of my friends in Taiwan who is an expert in TikTok. So he did mention something. I have to say I'm not an expert though on TikTok yet. But this is what he mentioned, which was quite interesting to me. He mentioned that when you do TikTok, right, the difference is you have to build your brand in a different way. You have to get audience first rather than creating the content first. Well, on Facebook or Instagram, we would highlight on giving value first. But on TikTok, they would very much want you to get the numbers first because of the algorithm. Then you go and do the things that you want. Because of course, once you have your numbers and then they came for the funny, lame stuff, and then you start to do serious stuff, you will lose followers, I would assume. But some who was quality ones would stay. So how do you create the content between fun and expert? I'm sorry lah, you have to get the numbers first. Do stupid things to get to get the numbers first. I mean, that's according to my friend who is the expert in TikTok in Taiwan.
I'm not the expert in TikTok, so I really have little to comment on TikTok. But I also I think it also depends on where's your target audience. You really don't need to go everywhere, right? Because if you go everywhere, you also tend to lose the focus of growing big in one platform. So my suggestion is really think about where's your target audience. If they are Facebook, then why not start on Facebook, right? And if you know that they are on Instagram more, then start Instagram. So depend on where they are and then start producing content and providing a lot of value over there.
Okay, thanks both. Yeah, so unfortunately we have no more time for any other question, but as I said in the chat, if you have any other questions, just post them. We'll try our best to get the answers to you guys. So we'll still send them through to Chloe and Tammy. Yeah. So yeah, so thank you for the sharing. Chloe, do you have anything else you'd like to wrap up or say about what happened today?
Thanks. Once again, I just really want to encourage all of you to take action, because at the end of the day, building online branding, you cannot dream and then you will have a brand, right? You really have to work on it. You really have to produce content, produce value to your audience, and consistency trump everything. Seriously.
Yeah.
So just be consistent and be unique. But your branding will get unique along the way, because the more content that you talk about, right, the stronger, the sharper the brand will become for you. But you have to start doing something first.
Yeah.
So I just want to add a little bit on what Chloe mentioned. That's because today's session is really, really short. I myself went through hours with the team at the next level. It's in fact, it was a 3-day thing. That's like really long. So we can't cover everything on the 45 minutes, and it's more of a chit chat session. So you might see things jumping around. But if you want a very structured way of like how to do step 1, step 2, and then this is the proven way, just Chloe's been so kind. She's gonna give us a free masterclass. Just go for it, lah. Now,
Yeah,
if you have more
it's
questions,
going to be a lot of valuable content inside
yes.
as well, like skills that you can learn and yeah, exact steps that you can follow for the ABC as well.
Yeah, and any more questions you can, if you have personal questions, like you think it's directed at me or Chloe, I think we can just go to our Facebook page, right?
Yeah. Correct. So our
Yeah,
Facebook page is here.
Yeah, and we also drop you guys links in the post-event email, so don't worry about if you don't have time to take all these down. The masterclass link, both of their social media platforms will be all in the email that will be sent to you guys, so really don't worry about that. Yeah. And also, I know this poll has been probably on your screen for a while. If you guys have time, please do help us fill out our post-event poll. It helps us really curate better sessions for you guys. So if you guys want to see Chloe and Tammy again, just give a great rating and then we'll ask them to come back. Yeah, so we'll just leave this on here for a while, no worries. And while you guys are doing this, I'll just close it off. Yeah, so just just thank you guys once again for coming down and sacrificing your night, although it was a really good session, but still
it was a great session. Yeah, I really learned a lot from Tammy's sharing as well.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, everybody. And Chloe, thank you so much for doing this session with us. As I'm like, I only just told her, can you do this? She's like, oh yeah, I'm like, sure, I'm good. You're amazing, Chloe. Thank you.
You are amazing too. I think all of you guys are amazing. Thanks.
Oh, thank you. You can just answer this other question that came. It's quite an interesting question also. So it goes, I have a friend that is extremely talented. However, she doesn't get the traction she deserves. She posts every day, it's quality filming, she's pretty, etc. It's a mystery. What are your thoughts?
I think firstly, it's how long has she been doing it, right? Like consistency, of course, is good, but if it's only consistent for 1 month, then maybe the time is not enough, right? The second thing is how unique is her branding, because we, even though she's pretty, I do believe that there are also other pretty girls out there. What's so unique about her? So at the end of the day, is her branding topic, or is her branding direction attractive in the first place, right? Yeah. What do you think, Tammy?
There must be a lot of factors. As in, I think one of the most common mistakes that a lot of people do, even though they are very hardworking, is their direction is not consistent, not right. You may be posting everything, a lot of things on everyday basis, very good content, but if one day you're posting on eating, the other day you're posting on filming, the other day you're posting on holiday, then nobody really know what your brand is, because people would follow you for a certain direction. If I really want to know about you as a person, then I will follow you for that direction. But it's like, I won't be interested in anything else that you want to share. So if your audience is like not sure what you're actually for, then it's very hard for them to stay or have more audience. So I think that could be one reason. And then it boils down again, what audience is she trying to capture? Is it just numbers? Is it just viewers, or is she trying to build her branding so that she can sell a certain service or a product? Then is her content correct for that angle? It's usually that lah. And then again, timing, which Chloe mentioned. So if you're only starting doing it for like a month or two, even if your correction is correct, please lah, what you want to expect from 1 or 2 months?
And I think linking to that, maybe, so somebody else has a question here. Maybe it's probably our last question because we have 2 minutes. But so how do you ensure you have new, fresh content and invigorate yourself to continue to, if you experience burnout from running your brand? So there's kind of 2 questions. One of it is content, fresh content, and then the other one is how to reduce burnout. Yeah.
So that one is covered in Chloe's course.
We do cover some very easy like things that one click of button you can have, like close to 2 years worth of content, right? It's like this amazing platform that this website that we go to. But on top of that, I think apart from this, also ask yourself, like, actually you can also Google, like, just for example, you are doing weight loss, right? Then just Google, hey, how to lose weight. And actually under Google, right, there are already many other similar questions asked by the people all over the world who are interested to have weight loss, right? Then these questions, right, and different people ask different kind of questions, and that's how you can have many different people's questions on a topic that is generally similar but in different aspects, right? I think it's a little bit hard to visualize, but during my masterclass, I will go through much more in detail. Yeah.
Chloe, do you mind I do a quick share screen to elaborate what you're talking about?
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead.
So I'm just gonna share my screen. So Chloe mentioned that you can just go to Google how to, sorry, I was pressing Maybank statement. Okay, how to lose weight. Okay, lose weight. So when you do that, right, you see what happens is Google has this people also ask.
Yeah.
So these are the rest of the topic that
That's
you can
right.
come up with actually. So this is one of the hacks. There are other hacks will be available in Chloe's class. I'm selling for you, yeah. Anyway, it's free class. Yeah, free class. Okay. So this is what you do. So when you have one question, Google will actually come up with more. If you need more, they are also here. So how you come up with content, this is one of the hacks that you can use.
Correct. And you can see that actually building relationship with your customer is so important. Like, it's a journey, and the relationship doesn't just stop when the sale is done, right? And that's why like now Tammy is our raving fan. Yeah, I think it's really great to be like actually knowing Tammy as a friend. Like she's such a fun person.
It's so
To
nice.
hang out with. I really want to meet you in real life. Even though I met you once in real life, we are going to hang out.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, phase 2 can hang out now. Yay. Okay,
Alright.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so I think that's all we
think
have time for. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
bye everyone.
Bye.